Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it is time for a Dadbod to Daddy transformation vlog, and today was arm day. Ended up doing 22 total sets, so we did 11 sets for triceps, 11 sets for biceps, pretty much keeping with my current theme, but as I've said before, now that I've gone back to higher carbs and reduced the healthy fats, I have more training fuel, more glycogen. I'm going to be fuller, so I'm going to slowly just increase volume and work more and more on pump work towards the end of these workouts. In other words, I'm going to come in and do my big compound movements with enough to again, kind of get the job done, and then we're just going to go over to a lot of isolation and pump work after that on a lot of the body parts. Things like chest and back, obviously, I'm going to stick with big movements because I need the arm work, right? My arms do need more work than, say, my chest and my back do at this point. So obviously on those, I'm going to stick with compounds. But today I came in and did close grip bench. I increased the weight a little bit and got more weight and more reps because I only added those in last week. Again, I haven't close gripped in a long time. Keeping in mind, at my peak at a heavier body weight, I hit 365 on a max on a close grip before. And I've also done, sets of 12 with 225. So, again, I want to work back up to that. I want to work back up to just repping out 225 on it. And then I did chins. Now the chins were down just a little bit today, right? I couldn't get more than 8 reps on those sets, but I'll accept that, I think, because I picked up a little bit of water maybe from bringing the carbs back in. Also, I tried earlier this week to cut the caffeine out just to see if it helped with my sleep quality. Totally not happy with it, giving me headaches and stuff at this point. So I decided to go ahead and add it back in. Had my coffee this morning, fasted, and I think for me, if I'm going to do the fasting with higher carbs, probably the way to go. Go ahead and get caffeine in. Drink plenty of coffee during my fasted window. Helps keep my appetite back under control, and just focus on high fiber, high carbohydrate during my feed window. Keeping the fat low, keeping protein high. But yeah, it definitely made a difference today. I felt like, again, with the carbs, the work capacity was up with the coffee added back in. But the main thing for me is going to be the appetite suppression, right? The appetite suppression. And yes, I am holding a little bit of extra water still from adding the carbs and salts back in. So I decided a couple days ago, I don't think the higher sodium is doing me a lot of good. So I dropped it back down. So I'm going to focus on just a lot of potassium, but keep the carbs high. And then I think everything will tighten right back up. So we only did the 2 sets though, a close grip and weighted chins, right? Because again, I want those compounds to be hard. I want them to be intense. Focus on progressive overload. Then we came in and did all of our pump work. So I ended up, after doing those, I did 9 sets of isolation for biceps, 9 sets of isolation for triceps, hitting 3 different angles, picking movements that I know give me a good effect. Everything was 10 plus reps. And the only reason I might have hit 10, I think a couple of the sets, maybe I think the curls, I only got 10 on the 3rd set because my biceps just couldn't keep going because I didn't keep the breaks super, super long. I wanted this workout done, in about an hour. That was my goal. 22 sets in an hour. Breaks are pretty short. But for the skull crushers, we got a little bit of a performance boost. So again, it kind of is good for triceps overall. And I want that because my triceps really are a weak link. I feel like at this point, maybe rear delts, side delts, triceps. Of course, I want my biceps bigger, but my biceps I feel like have come a long way, but I do feel the triceps need more work, particularly, that long head and everything. So we're going to tend to do a lot of extensions. But, so for curls here, we did 3 sets of, I would call it 12, 12, and then 10, right? Because I think I only got like 10 on the last set with these. Again, notice with the curls, we try to keep these strict. Now, it's not necessarily real slow, but notice I try to keep the torso locked in, trying not to swing, trying to extend all the way at the bottom and then bring it all the way to the face. Why? Works all the functions in the bicep more. Because again, keep in mind that 30 degrees of forward rotation of the elbow is part of the function of the bicep. That is documented over and over in biomechanics. So anyone who doesn't realize that, we could be shortchanging biceps a little bit, right? We could be shortchanging them if you don't get that. But by that same token, is it probably it doing the chins? Yes. But I can lock the arms back in more for the other movements. So on that one, even though I'm keeping it really strict, I do kind of want that more that longest range of motion possible. So we go ahead and lock at the bottom. Also notice on those what I tell people, keep those wrists cocked back, just like Arnold told us to do. I feel like this younger generation of kids, and I know kids, 30-year-olds, I call them kids. I think there's been some confusion on that when I talk about my kids as a coach. People are thinking I'm talking about teenagers. Oh, you're 25, you're a kid. Right, 23, you're a kid. If I am more than 20 years older than you, you're a kid. Pretty straightforward. So the kids today, they don't seem to know that because they didn't grow up with Arnold's book, right? Arnold told us all of that when I was younger, all his stuff. Yeah, you got to cock those wrists back a little bit so that you don't work the forearms as much, and it isolates the bicep more, and you don't get forearm cramps from the straight bar, right? That's why everyone went to the easy bar, because they didn't know to do that. So, kind of just minor point, but again, bringing it up to the face, we work the full function. All right, then I decided to superset the flat extensions. All right, I did these because, again, I tried it on the decline, and honestly, it just didn't do as much on the dumbbells. And I did them flat here. Now, this I really felt. I felt all three heads of the tricep, got a great pump. Because, again, we did 12s on the skull crushers. These we did right about 15 because, again, it's still lightweight. And I mean, I could go with more lower reps if I added a little bit of weight to the dumbbells, but I like these dumbbells preloaded. And at this point, when we're just pumping the crap out of the arms, right, I'm trying to just pump the arms through long ranges of motion, all the angles. And I think kind of what I'm going to do on some of these movements, I'm going to let the final exercise determine volume. If, 3 will be average, maybe 1 if I'm just completely out of steam, but maybe up to 4 or 5 or more if I feel like I can still keep pushing and get more volume. But for these are all kind of the main builders here, for these other two. Barbell curls, preacher curls, big deals for me. A couple of types of extensions, a big deal. Like this is where the real work is. So on these I got 15s also. I think I only got 14 on the last set of these. Again, one of the things I'm noticing with biceps, I just get a deeper burn with really high reps. And as much as I try to do really heavy and lower reps on biceps, I just don't get that same burn. So something I've been gravitating towards more is just really pumping the biceps with a lot of reps. And again, keeping in mind, I do weighted pull-ups and weighted chin-ups every week. So people are like, oh, that pump work, well, where's the real work? Well, I do big compounds, right? I'm doing weighted pull-ups, weighted chin-ups, right? We're good. Same thing on the triceps. I can do all this pump work for the extensions, and it'll keep my elbows healthier because I bench. We do wide grip bench on chest day. We're doing incline bench on chest day. We have all that pressing, guys. There's plenty of heavy work there. Same thing, I come in and then close grip on this day. Okay, we got plenty of heavier work, even though it's higher rep, it's still a lot of tension. So then after that, I do want to just come in and pump the arms. Again, heavy work followed by pump work. It has built great physiques for generations. Okay, it's built great physiques for generations. So again, but my heavier work is on those big movements, closer to that 8 to 12. And then on my isolation, I'm trying to do about 10 to 15. Okay? And that is fine. And people say, are you going to get stronger? Are you going to lose strength? No. Remember, I was training this way a little while, and I've come in and benched and straight up flat back 315. Flat back, ultra wide grip, no wrist straps for 3 reps. Okay? At 47 years old, weighing close to 200 pounds, getting down towards that way, being able to rep 315 flat back and paused, I don't think it's too shabby. Keeping in mind, if I ever go back to power benching with a slightly closer grip, wrist wraps, belt, arch, you guys see what I'm saying? Might be pretty good, especially if I just keep building muscle, keep getting leaner, ended up with a really good strength ratio, right, at that point, whoop scores and all of that. particularly if you throw in the age coefficients on that. People forget that in powerlifting too. Those age coefficients affect your score real fast once you start adding, more than 5 years over masters. You get into masters 2, masters 3, you get a lot of points for that. So when guys try to say, well, relative strength, yeah, well, then you have to factor that in. It is factored in strength sports. So, we might get to a point where I have a legitimate 405 bench at age 50 if I keep getting more jacked, but do it at 200 pounds. Right now, that would be something that's legit. But even then, even if I don't, what if I still only hit 365? 50-year-old man who's 200 doing that, you can't hate on that, right? That's still very elite. So we'll keep working at it. And again, just keep getting the upper body jack. Same thing with the legs. I know the recipe for legs, and we've kind of started me seeing do that last week again. So I got to just pump those quads up. My legs will come back, right? Legs will come back. So again, we finished up here with incline extensions with the dumbbells, and then superset it with incline curls. All right, this is where we get our extra stretch movements in. Again, those incline extensions just hammer that long head for me. This also gives me that stretch. Of course, you guys can see my waistline doesn't look quite as tight this week as last week, but that's due to just the shift in the sodium. I feel like in another week or two, it'll tighten right back up. Everything will be nice and tight. It's making some adjustments with the diet. Keeping in mind, I'm not gaining body fat. Still definitely getting leaner. So, again, but we're going to see a little fluctuations week to week. And I think that's something people do need to keep in mind with that. That's one reason most of your influencers are not shirtless on camera every single week, right? A lot of them are only really shirtless once every 5 or 6 weeks or whatever, and they make sure they look their best for that. And we don't do that. There's no fakery here. No fakery here. I don't have magic lights. I just have my normal garage lights. Don't have anything else set up. We just get in and get it done, right? But I'm just going to keep getting leaner, keep getting more jacked, okay? And just stay that way year round. And I think that's a big part of the message I'm promoting to people. We can be strong, we can be jacked, we can be lean, and we can stay there year round if we're smart with everything, we're dedicated, and take an intelligent approach. And I'm going to keep working on doing that. But finished up with these, ended up doing 3 sets of these each. So it gave me, for both biceps and triceps each, 2 big compounds, 9 isolation movements, everything in the 8 to 15 rep range, right? Got a hell of a pump. My arms were pumped by my 3rd set, triceps and biceps. Like I was worried I wasn't going to be able to go on, but I was able to keep pushing through. And I'm going to keep building work capacity because, again, it's good for my cut right now, good for burning calories. Of course, I did a little bit of fasted cardio after this. And again, I still haven't eaten yet. I don't eat till about noon, even on training days. Try to get a protein shake first and then we carb up. But very happy with today's workout, so I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.